Hello, class. So after pulling a few strings in Hollywood, I finally got Ridley Scott to come into my English presentation. So tell me, Scott, what does the sequence of Roy versus Batty mean?
Well, the sequence was made during 1980s, known now as the decade of greed, during a time of desperate environmentalism, Cold War paranoia, and Reaganism. So I wanted to express those contemporary values through the production.
And how did you do that?
In the film, I used the antagonist Roy Batty to play a didactic role in teaching Deckard empathy through fear and vulnerability. This is to undo the isolationist values that were promoted throughout the 1980s through Ronald Reagan's policies, which caused welfare cuts, emphasizing on the individual want rather than the societal need. Scenes such as Roy giving back Deckard's gun or getting his head purposefully stuck through a wall show that Roy could easily kill Deckard if it was his goal, but through his poignant dialogue.
Quite an experience to live in fear, isn't it? That's what it is to be a slave.
And self-sacrifice,
Time to die.
it's evident that it was to teach.
Wait, you tell me that Roy purposefully got his head stuck?
Yes, Roy purposefully gets his head stuck. Roy smiles as Deckard grabs a weapon, then easily slips out. This is to teach Deckard the value of vulnerability and empathy for the replicants he has retired, such as and
See, so the scene was meant to promote the value of individual altruism and empathy through a teaching of life and death, while also condemning the attitudes that alienated mankind from each other in the first place.
Yes, exactly.
So, more specifically, what visual and audio features did you use to more enhance and specify this perspective?
Among the basics such as shot types and lighting, I used nature symbolisms, allusions to the Holy Bible, chiaroscuro.
Wait, hold on. Nature symbolisms? Allusion to the Bible? What's chiaroscuro?
Well, first of all, I used nature symbolism to depict Roy as closer to nature than Deckard, serving as a microcosm to the world in Blade Runner. Scenes such as non-diegetic prowling and visually rain on Roy but none on Deckard, along with Roy's behavior with his howling and his primalistic love for Priz. Suggests this closeness to nature, promoting the values of closeness to nature by positioning it through such a powerful character. Secondly, I used allusions to Christianity to not only portray Roy as Deckard's salvation to humanity, but to also promote Christian values of love, compassion, peace, and forgiveness. This is evident through Roy's hand where he nails himself, much like Christ's crucifixion, which was to cleanse the world's sins, and the dove to represent renewal, an allusion to Jesus' baptism, which allowed him to run away with Rachel as a cause of his personal growth.
Wow, that was so beautiful. Now what's chiaroscuro?
Chiaroscuro is the treatment of light and shadows within a shot. This is a film noir trope.
Oh. What's film noir? I've heard of it before.
Film noir is a genre of film that primarily features cynical heroes and fatalism, usually in the form of a detective plot.
Wait, but I thought Blade Runner was cyberpunk.
Yes, it is. Blade Runner has multiple film noir fundamentals such as a flawed protagonist, heavy use of chiaroscuro, and a detective plot. Despite this, Blade Runner is still undeniably a cyberpunk film set in a dystopian future 37 years in the context it was made in. This is evident throughout the movie, but in this sequence through this shot, through the use of the visual technique mise en scene. I used the anachronistic architecture to convey a sense of hyper-urbanization, a common trope in cyberpunk films. I mixed these two genres to project the misguided values of the film's context into the future, so I can condemn the attitudes of Reaganomics and greed, along with the normalization of decadence.
Wow! Thank you so much, Ridley Scott, for coming into my English presentation. You helped out so much.
Of course, Emin, happy to help and old friend, but before I go, how did you react to the Roy versus Deckard with your modern-day context?
Oh, wow. You're asking me the questions now. Well, to me, the sequence invoked a sense of fear for artificial intelligence. The advent of generative AI such as ChatGPT and DALL-E especially come to mind. These AI resemble your replicants more and more with each passing year, with huge technological leaps every decade. Image generators such as DALL-E are especially scary as these mimic the human essence of art. It's necessary yet dreadful to know when these intelligences will surpass human capabilities in fields that are not only academic or strength-based, but ones that are inherently human, such as art and music. As AI gradually grows more and more intelligent, AI equally grows more human-like, and it will only be a matter of time until people will start using deepfakes to misrepresent people such as celebrities or film producers. The sequence also deeply touches me in the loss of connection. Unlike other films that follow the narrative plot, Deckard has no friends, only a lover who he met 4 days ago. No one to desperately scream help for, no one to save him if he was truly in danger, no one to grab a drink with afterwards. This touches me because of an evident decline in friends. 15% of the population report having no close friends, which is a fivefold to the 3% during the 1990s. Anyways, thank you so much, Ridley Scott, and goodbye.